You ever find yourself thinking back to your school days, back when you were, the smart kid, the one who just seemed to have it all figured out? Well, if that past success feels like a million miles away from where you are right now, you're going to want to stick around. We're about to dig into why that bright future you probably imagined feels so out of reach.
I mean, that's the big question, isn't it? That little voice in the back of your head going, what happened to that person? That confident, capable person I used to be. It's a feeling that is way more common than you'd think, and today, we're going to get to the bottom of it.
So, this brings us right to the heart of the issue, what I call the smart kid paradox. It's this huge gap between who you were and how you feel now. First, let's just take a second and remember what that old success actually felt like.
Remember this? The thrill of just nailing a test, the praise from teachers? Success wasn't just something you did, it felt like who you were. It was just easy, almost expected, right? But what happens when that feeling just vanishes?
Because for so many of us, it's been replaced by this absolutely frustrating loop where you procrastinate, then you feel overwhelmed, which just makes you procrastinate more. It's a really tough cycle to break. So what on earth changed?
Well, here's the thing. The compass that guided you so perfectly through school, it just doesn't work in the adult world. The rules of the game have totally changed, and really understanding that shift is the very first step.
Just look at the difference here. School gave us all this structure, clear deadlines, a set path, and a constant stream of praise from the outside. But adulthood? It's a world of total ambiguity. It requires internal motivation for these big, open-ended goals, a skill most of us were never actually taught. And that jump, from having a clear map to being thrown into an open ocean, it's incredibly disorienting.
And this disorientation really boils down to three key things. First, losing that constant external validation we were just talking about. Second, having your entire identity just wrapped up in what you achieve. And third, the massive pressure of perfectionism that almost always comes with being a high achiever.
And this really gets to the core of the identity problem. When you are the smart one, struggling with some messy, complex adult problem doesn't just feel like a setback, it feels like a personal, fundamental failure. And to avoid that feeling, honestly, it's just easier not to start at all.
And that leads us straight into the perfectionism trap. That same drive for excellence that won you awards in school, it can become the very thing that paralyzes you as an adult.
And here's that vicious cycle in action. See if this sounds familiar. It all starts with a fear of not meeting your own crazy high standards. That fear then triggers procrastination, almost like a defense mechanism. But putting it off doesn't bring relief. It just builds up stress and guilt, which makes that initial fear even stronger. And round we go. So, and this is so important, let's be really clear. Procrastination is not some moral failing. It's not just a lack of discipline. It's a psychological coping mechanism. It's literally your brain trying to protect you from the fear of failure and the discomfort of uncertainty that, let's face it, defines a huge chunk of adult life.
Okay, so we've kind of diagnosed the problem. Now for the good part. You are not destined to stay stuck. Let's start building your new compass with some real, practical strategies to get you moving forward again.
The absolute key is to shift your focus inward. You got to move away from external validation to what we call intrinsic motivation. This means trading that need for good grades and praise for a drive that comes from your own passions and your own values. This becomes your new compass.
So here's your toolkit. First, take that giant, overwhelming goal and just break it down into tiny, doable steps. Second, use the SMART framework to give yourself some actual clarity. And maybe most importantly, prioritize what genuinely matters to you, not what you think you should be doing.
And this one is huge. You have to reframe your entire relationship with failure. It is not a verdict on your intelligence or your worth. It's just data. It's a completely necessary, unavoidable part of learning and growing. That's it.
Ultimately, breaking free from this trap means redefining your identity. And that starts with some self-reflection to figure out who you are beyond your accomplishments. From there, you learn to celebrate your effort, your progress, not just the final outcome, and you adopt a growth mindset, the core belief that you can always learn and improve. So let's bring this all together. Moving from lost to found isn't really about finding some new destination. It's about learning how to navigate the journey when you don't have that old map anymore. And please, remember this. Feeling lost is not evidence that you failed. It's proof that you're evolving beyond the simple rulebook you had when you were young. It's a sign of growth, and growth is rarely, if ever, comfortable.
And if you only take one single thing away from all of this,
Let it be this. Your worth as a person is not something you earn through achievements. It is inherent. It was there before you ever got a good grade, and it's there right now, no matter what's on your to-do list.
So as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with a question. Forget the overwhelming, massive to-do list for just a minute. Just think about this. What is one small, manageable step you can take today to move forward? Just one.